Ecuador is on the edge of an abyss. Elections held amid a rising tide of violence, with one candidate assassinated in broad daylight, and police fighting a losing war against narcos who've turned the country into a cocaine superhighway. I'm here to find out how one of the region's safest nations became a battleground for international cartels.
Actualmente se están proliferando peor que bacterias.
And to see what hope, if any, there is for the future.
Estamos viendo que Ecuador se ha convertido en un narcoestado.
Supuesto que el Ecuador es un narcoestado.
The city of Guayaquil is home to 3 million people, but every night more of them disappear. Tonight we've joined a police patrol. Two local gangs, the Choneros and the Lobos, are fighting a turf war here. A major part of the business model, extorting money and kidnapping those who refuse to pay.
We just received a phone call from the police and somebody has been kidnapped. They called the location, so we're heading down there.
Catching the bad guys is getting harder. Both gangs are backed by rival Mexican cartels who need local foot soldiers to move their cocaine. They're well armed, well organized, and usually a step ahead of the police.
Somebody that was kidnapped a couple of hours ago was held in this house.
The victim, a local businessman, has already been moved, and the men arrested will likely be back on the streets within days. The game of cat and mouse begins again tomorrow. Here each morning brings news of a fresh bloodshed. Murders have tripled in 2 years. Gangs have even carried out car bombings, hung dismembered bodies from bridges, and launched full-scale prison mutinies. Sandwiched between Colombia and Peru, the world's two biggest cocaine producers, Ecuador has long been a transit route for narcos. But a series of ineffective governments mean the cartels act with impunity. And if you want to move drugs out of Ecuador, controlling Guayaquil, the country's biggest port, is a must. As the narcos tighten their grip, ordinary people are getting caught in the crossfire, and not just wealthy targets.
En este punto, ahí donde lo capturan a mi papá a las 3:20 de la tarde.
Diana's father, Alejandro, a retired Navy officer, was kidnapped in April. A local gang had been demanding money. When he refused to pay, they came and took him.
Es una tortura pensar en todos los días en lo que ellos escriben, que fueron 20 balazos, que se los tiraron a los lagartos, que lo enterraron vivo. Son muchas cosas que ellos me han dicho, y todo eso, día a día, te carcome el alma pensar en todo el sufrimiento que pudo pasar una persona que no se lo merecía.
Like many Ecuadorians, Diana has little faith in the police. All she can do is pray for news.
Todos los días dormimos con el teléfono con sonido, por si acaso en la madrugada él llegue a llamar pidiéndonos auxilio. Mija, estoy en tal lugar, ven a recogerme. Tengo la esperanza de todos los días, le pido a Dios que eso pase.
But when people stand up to gangsters, it usually ends one way. All the police can do is try and find the bodies.
We're in one of the most dangerous barrios here in Guayaquil. This place is called Monte Sinaí, and the police believe that there are more than 100 bodies buried around here.
The man in the balaclava is an informant. He says he witnessed narcos killing people in this house and chopping up the corpses.
¿Hace cuánto tiempo que sabías de esto tú?
Ya meses.
¿Sí? ¿Cuánta gente habrá enterrada por acá?
Unas 6 personas.
6, acá.
Before the search can be completed, we receive information that heavily armed Chonero gangsters are on their way here. To avoid a shootout, the officers decide to pull out immediately. For all the bodies hidden in Ecuador soil, it's the killing of one man that has shaken the country to its core.
En 1978,
Fernando Villavicencio was a journalist turned presidential candidate, pledging to crack down on corruption. The public spotlight didn't protect him. He was shot dead on the 9th of August, leaving a campaign rally in Quito. 6 Colombians with links to gangs are being held for his murder. It's part of a series of political assassinations designed to send a message. Challenge the criminals and you will be taken out. Cristian Zurita, the man chosen to fill Villavicencio's shoes, cast his ballot yesterday wearing body armor. He didn't get enough votes to reach the second round. Hopes now rely on the political courage of rival candidates. I wanted to know if he really believes things can change.
Estamos viendo que Ecuador se ha convertido en un narcoestado.
Supuesto que el Ecuador es un narcoestado, sino cómo se entiende que pueden suceder esos temas. Yo no diría que es un estado colapsado, tiene recursos todavía, tiene enormes capacidades de recuperar, sí.
Ecuador's problems have been imported from beyond its borders, where cocaine is produced and consumed. As long as the business model remains unbroken, people here will continue to pay the price.